Hi team, welcome to the Learning as We Go studio. Today we're talking podcasts, what they are, why they're great, and how you can make your own. Part 1, Podcasts. Podcasts essentially are series of audio file episodes that listeners access online and download to computer or mobile devices. The tools for creating podcasts are accessible to nearly everyone, and they are extremely easy to create and share. So what does that mean for you? It means it's already time for Part 2, Podcasts for Everyone. There are many successful podcasts by celebrities, but anyone can be a podcaster and be successful. There are no rules for what a podcast must be. The FCC doesn't regulate podcasting, and podcasters don't rely on ratings like the radio does to keep their shows going. In reality, the success of a podcast really depends on the value it offers to listeners. That said, there are a few common aspects of successful podcasts that are good to know. One being an engaging format, usually with an intro and outro, segments, and musical interludes. Another being exciting or on-trend topics like politics, music, sports, or TV. And the last and most important, the personality of the podcaster and any of their potential guests. By the way, a successful podcast, the way we're talking about it, has a growing audience and inspires conversations about its topic. There are other measures of success as well, like gaining global recognition, influencing culture, and even generating income, which some podcasters do by advertising on their shows. So, how do you become a successful podcaster? On to the next part, making your own podcast. You might want to take some notes here, and feel free to pause the video as necessary while going through these steps. First, you are going to need an idea. The best idea for your podcast is one that you're passionate about, because your enthusiasm will make for interesting listening. Your idea should also be something that others will be interested in. There is a niche for everything, but it's important that you know what your niche is, and who will be listening to the podcast in that niche. While you're coming up with your idea, you can jot down some ideas for other elements that will help your podcast gain recognition. Things like a title, something short and memorable that aptly describes your content, a logo that you can use to catch attention, and other characteristics like formats and the type of guest that you might have on the show. Second, you'll need some structure for your first episode. Depending on your topic and audience, you may need to write a script, list topics in the form of bullet points, or draft questions you might ask in an interview. You decide. If you know what your podcast will contain, you'll be able to make good use of your recording time, and you'll be able to keep your listeners from getting lost or becoming uninterested. Third, you're going to need to record your podcast. There are a lot of phone and computer apps you can use to record audio files. To be taken seriously by your audience, you're going to need to have good recording quality and audio effects as part of your podcast. For this reason, today we're using Anchor. It's a high-quality podcasting app that's also fairly easy to use and has a few key features to give your first few podcasts some flair. Step 1. Download the Anchor podcasting app to your phone from your app store. Once you've gotten through the installation and registration, go ahead and click through the initial tutorial to become comfortable with some of the features. Step 2. Practice. Navigate to the record screen and test all of the features to learn where you can add messages, record segments, and add transitions. A neat thing about this app is the ability to hold the phone like you're making a call while you're recording. While there's other ways to record, I believe this is the best for cutting out background noise. Step 3. Start recording. Go segment by segment and add musical transitions as you go. On the phone app, you'll have to add your segments and transitions in the order you want to hear them. This is where your planning comes in handy. Step 4. Publish. Once you've published through Anchor, you can now share a link to your podcast on social media or through email. Make sure you have a good title and description so people will know what they're listening to. And you can check your settings to see when it will have made it to iTunes or Google Play for others to find and listen to it. Voila, you're a podcaster. Congratulations. If this was helpful, please be sure to let me know in the comments and subscribe to Learning as We Go Studio for more podcasts just like this.
Created using Powtoon.